How you doing, guys? This is Billy Kreisen out here in Sarasota, Florida, doing an HVAC maintenance today. This is a 2018 Comfort Maker. It's an ICP product, as you can see. Here's the outdoor unit. I'll take you guys in to see the indoor unit here. But with this one, it's a newer unit. Just needs a maintenance, so we're just doing a maintenance out here. But I want to show you how you can take a standard maintenance and turn it into a profitable call. Because if you're just relying on calls to come in, like service calls, and you're relying on those for all of your revenue, then things can get a little difficult. So I'm going to show you guys the proper way to come into a maintenance on a newer piece of equipment and turn it into a profitable call while advising and helping the customer. That's the most important part. So let me show you a little how that process goes. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and switch out the filter. Always start off with switching out the filter, and make sure we consistently change filters on every maintenance call that we're on. And we always want to inspect them to see how dirty they are as well. Okay, so we got that filter in. Let's go ahead and put the door back on for now. So the second thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and inspect the evaporator coil. Now on this particular unit, this is from 2018, so our evaporator coil is in fairly good shape. Really no dirt or corrosion or rust. So this one looks to be in very good shape. So once you inspect the evaporator coil, we can go ahead and move to the blower. So we can go ahead and start inspecting the blower as well. And as you can see, that's a very clean blower. Also, what we want to check for is to make sure that the blower does spin freely. Go ahead and give her a spin. Give her a better spin than that. Let's try and spin it the other way. Yeah, so that flows pretty freely. It's hard to do it with this UV bulb in the way, but you can definitely tell when there's a lot of resistance in that motor that's spinning pretty freely, so we know the bearings are in pretty good shape there. So that's good. Also, guys, make sure you always inspect your supply plenums here. When you see this this growth here, it's like this black stuff that starts growing on the outside of the plenum, that's because there's condensation forming here, which we really want to prevent. So I can see that there is some, the tape is slightly peeling off here, so probably going to need to seal that back up. It needs to be a little bit more insulated here. That's probably why it's sweating. So we'll just see what we can do about that there. But we definitely want to get that resolved. So make sure you're always examining plenums too, to make sure, because if this looks like that right there, imagine what it looks like on the inside. So make sure you always check that. Okay. So when you're in a situation where they already have surge protection, hard start, they have a brand new capacitor, there's really not much to upsell out here, but the one thing that you can kind of look at, just little miscellaneous stuff. Look at this disconnect. The thing is, rusted. Still functional. Still works. But something to look at. Open this up and see what's inside. Okay, so here's the deal. So I inspected everything. It was really hard to find something. You know, some units you can't really find anything wrong at all because they're so perfect. So I had to look pretty hard to actually find an issue with this one. And what it was is the return box that the air handler is sitting on. Here, I'll actually just go show you guys. The return box isn't insulated at all, and it's sitting in the garage. And here in Florida, that's a big no-no. Because of the humidity, that thing will sweat like crazy. So, as you can see, there's the box it's sitting on. And when you come down in here, no insulation. There's insulation there, but not any. Right there. Right there. Only right there. So, turn off my flashlight. So what we have to do is we have to solve this problem, because this is not a problem you want to have in Florida. Like I said, when you have an uninsulated return, you have to think that's cold air. So that's probably maybe 70 to 77 degrees, depending on how cold they keep it in the house. Imagine you have 70-degree air running through an uninsulated box, and the outside temperature of that box is about 80 or 90 degrees, because that's how hot it is here in Florida usually. So that thing's gonna sweat like a cold glass of water in the sun. And when you have moisture, you have bacteria, you have microbial growth, you have some, we don't like to use the word mold because I don't know if that's even what it is, but it's some type of bacteria. It's not good for the system. I'm not a doctor. It's probably not healthy to breathe it in either, but it's definitely not good for the HVAC unit because it can restrict the airflow. Obviously that's not good. So what I'm gonna do is, once I find a problem and I address it and bring it to the customer's attention, I always let the customer know, hey, this is a situation where I'm gonna need to work on the pricing or talk with the manager, and we're gonna have to work out the pricing. So let me go sit in the truck and I'll put together a couple different options for you. And then you want to, of course, you want to write those options down on paper, which I'm about to start doing now. And usually I like to give 2 or 3 options, just so the customer doesn't feel like you're forcing them to do something. So I like to give them 2 or 3 options, kind of formatted in a good, better, best scenario, and then you kind of just present it to the customer, and really just try not to say too much. Just kind of show them the paper and see what they say, and just kind of answer any questions that they have. But anyways, I'm gonna start going through that process now. I will keep you guys updated. Okay guys, so I just finished up writing up my options. So these are my options here. You don't have to have a fancy paper to write up options like this. You could honestly just do it with just a piece of paper and a pencil, or a piece of paper and a pen and a notebook or something. That's how I used to do it, but now we have these sheets that give you like different options. But so this is kind of how I positioned it. So option number 1, remove air handler, insulate and seal return box, plus reinstall air handler. That'd be $1,900. Quite a bit of work to take out a whole air handler, insulate, and then reinstall the whole air handler. So we would charge $1,900 to do that. Option number 2 would be to remove the air handler, insulate and seal the return box, reinstall the air handler, and then do a duct cleaning throughout the house. So we would clean all the ducts and then sanitize with the duct sanitizer at the end. That adds $1,000 to the job, so that makes it $2,900. So I'm gonna go in there now and I'm just gonna show her these options. And when you show options, you say as little as you possibly can. You just kind of show them the options, and just keep your mouth closed and see what they say. And sometimes they'll sit there awkwardly for what feels like a long time because it's so awkward, but you just have to really try your hardest to not say anything until they start asking the questions, because in sales you can talk yourself out of the sale very quickly, depending on what you're saying. So do as little talking as possible, show options, let them make the decision, and if they don't want to make a decision now, then you start to kind of probe and figure out what's holding them back, and you can kind of start to uncover all the information just by asking questions. So I'm going to go in there and do that, and I will explain to you guys what happens at the end. So give me a few minutes here and I will catch back up with you guys. Okay guys, so that actually went very well. It was a really easy sale actually. She kind of just looked at the paper and she was like, which option? And at first I did explain the difference between the two options. That was kind of the only thing I said. And then I sat there for probably about 5 seconds, and she asked me, which would you do? What would you choose? And I explained that option number one is gonna, let me show you. But I explained that option number one is going to fix the problem with the uninsulated box, and it'll prevent condensation from forming. But then I explained option number two, even though it's $1,000 more, it's not good to leave fungal or microbial growth in the duct system due to all that condensation. So I said it would be most beneficial for the equipment if you just went ahead and cleaned out all that physical debris out of the ducts, all the dust and microbial growth. And I said that would be most beneficial, even though it's $1,000 more. So, you know, she took my opinion on that, and she just chose right then and there, and she said, okay, let's go ahead and do option number two. There was no objections on that one whatsoever. So sometimes that's how it is. I mean, sometimes it's really easy, and when there's actually legitimate problems here and you bring the customer out and show them and explain to them how this can hurt the equipment, how this can affect the air quality in your home, and you actually physically show them the issues and they see, then it becomes a lot easier to sell. Because I went in there and showed her, she knew she had the issue, she was obviously interested in resolving the issue, and there, like I said, there was no objections whatsoever. The only question she asked me was, what would you do? And I just explained that option number two, even though it's more expensive, that's going to be most beneficial, so that's what I would choose if money was no object. And she was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and schedule option number two then. So it's how easy it can be to sell a package of options like this. It's $2,900 to do a duct cleaning and re-insulate all that. That's how you turn a standard $49.99 maintenance into a you know, $2,900 ticket. So, and at the same time, you're helping someone out, you're solving their issues. So that's why I love sales, guys, because you're helping people, you're solving their problems, they trust you, they build a good relationship with you because you're solving their issues, and at the end of the day, you get to make a little bit of money helping someone out. That's why I love this trade, guys. I'm sure any trade is just as good, plumbing, electrical, but HVAC is what I chose, and I'd probably recommend you do the same thing. Honestly, it's a great trade. So but anyways, I'll keep you guys updated. We just closed that sale. I'm gonna write it all up. I'm gonna finish up with my maintenance here, and I will show you guys everything at the end. See ya. Okay, so I just finished up with this maintenance. Finished right in perfect time because it just started raining a little bit here. Not too bad, so I think it'll get worse though. But just so you guys can see, down here, I ended up collecting $2,987, $2,900 for the repair, and then had to add 3% for the credit card fee, another $89. So collected $2,987 by credit card. There's the approval code right there, and then she signed both of that for us to do the work. And then also I get my option sheet signed as well, just to cover everything. So circled that option, she signed it. And I don't do the work personally. I do have the experience to do it. I've done installation for 3 years before I even got into service, and then did service for a few years. Now I just do strictly maintenances and some service, but I really try to focus on the sales aspect of it. So anyways, yeah, that was a good call. Made $2,900 on that one, or $2,987, but we don't get the, it was $89 for the fee. But yeah, I collected $2,987. We don't get the 87. That's just the 3% fee. If you guys want, I can give you guys, I won't do it in this video, but if you guys are interested, if anyone's ever interested, I can start doing like a breakdown of how much I actually make when I sell jobs like this. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know. Anyways, so yeah, that was successful. That's going in tomorrow. Like I said, I don't do the work. We're gonna have some, we have my installers. We have a couple of employees. We're a smaller company. We have 2 installers, and then we got 3 service techs that kind of just do everything. So I think the installers are actually doing an install tomorrow. I didn't sell that install. Someone else did, I think, sold that install. And then so I think they're gonna have one of the service technicians, or 2 of them, come over here and insulate all that return box, and then they're gonna bring the duct cleaning machine, and they're gonna clean all the ducts as well. So yeah, pretty good call. She was really happy. So that's pretty much it. So we're gonna see if I have any more calls left for the day. Us contractors, we like to use the excuse of when it's raining that we don't want to work anymore. So we'll see what the manager says about that. But I made pretty good money today just with that $2,900 ticket that I just sold, so I'm pretty content. I can definitely go home now. If I had to guess off the top of my head, if you guys wanted to know that, I would probably make probably $500 or $600 off of that $2,900. So, but if you guys, I don't know for sure. There's a lot of different calculations that I have to put together to see exactly how much I make in commission. But like I said, if you guys do want to see that in a future video, I can definitely start showing you guys how much commission I make as well. But if not, I don't have to put that out there. I don't want to put that out there if you guys don't want to see that. So just let me know in the comments. But yeah, video's not over yet. I'm going to call the office and see what's going on with this last call. If they cancel because of the rain, then I'll make a little outro video to say I'm all done. If not, then I will film the last call, and hopefully I don't get too wet with this rain, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, we got out right in time. God, look at this. I just got in my truck and it just started pouring, so glad I got done before this rain started, because that would have been terrible.